Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to create an application that will allow the user to interact with an image using Gemini Provision Model and Streamlit. The user will upload an image and then using text prompt will send query to Gemini Provision Model to get creative insights. On today's video, we are going to see two examples. The first one is that we are going to sketch a website on a piece of paper and then take photo of it and then send it to Gemini Provision Model to generate the code for our website using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS or any preferred language. And then we are going to take a picture of a fridge and then ask Gemini to generate a recipe using the ingredients we have. The possibilities are endless. So, without any further delay, let us get started. Alright everyone, let's start writing the code. We are first going to create a prototype for our application using Jupyter Notebook. We are going to use Google Gemini Provision Model API. So you should create an account with Google and generate a Google API key. The first step is to install the required library. We are going to work with images, so we need the Python image library and we have to install it. So here we are going to say pip install right below. Also, we need to install Google Generative AI. Next, we will import the libraries. So we'll say here import libraries. We'll import OS and then import Google.Generative AI as GenAI and from .env import load underscore .env find underscore .env. Next, we need to load the environment variable. So we'll say here load environment variable. I have the API key stored in a file in the same directory as this Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to load the Google API key from there. So we'll say load underscore environment find underscore environment override equal true. Next, we are going to say genai.configure API underscore key is equal to as.environ.get Google underscore API underscore key. Let's run the code. Now we will write the code for the user to import their images. So we'll say from Python image library import image. And then we'll say image underscore pass is equal to input. Please enter your image pass. Next, we'll check if the user inputs the pass. We'll say if not os.pass.is file image underscore pass. I'm going to raise a system exit with an error message. We'll say raise system exit incorrect image footing. If the user enter an image path, then we are going to open the image and store it in an image variable. We'll say image.open image underscore path, and then we are going to display the image. Let's run the code, make sure it's working. I have already prepared an image. It's located in the files directory. It's called fridge.jpg. This is a picture of the fridge. Now what we want is to send the queries to Gemini Provision and ask it about what's inside the fridge. First, what we have to do is create the model. Model is equal genai.generative model, and we will specify Gemini-Pro-Vision. Next, we want to create a while loop that will keep running until the user enter, exit, or quit. Okay, so we'll say while true prompt is equal to input and ask something about the image, about your image. If prompt dot lower not an exit quit. If it's not an exit on quit, this means a prompt. So we'll say response is equal to model dot generate content, and we are going to pass a list. The first item is the prompt, and the second is the image itself. Next, we are printing an empty line and then print the response dot text. And for readability, we'll print 100 here. All right. Now, if the user entered exit or quit, then we will say print exiting and break. Let's run the code and test. We'll send the first prompt. Please list the items in the fridge. It's running. And we get the answer from Gemini Provision. It contains all the items in the fridge. Okay. Now let's ask it to prepare a dinner for us. Suggest a healthy dinner recipe using the ingredients in the fridge. Okay, and we get the answer. Here are the ingredients, and not only that, it lists the instruction on how to do the dinner. Okay, so this is just a prototype to show you how you can chat with your image using the Gemini Provision. In the next part, we are going to create the application using Streamlit. Alright guys, now we are going to build the application using Streamlit. In the project directory here, I have an app.py file where this is where I'm going to write the code. I have a requirement.txt which includes the libraries that we need. We have Python.environment, Streamlit, and Google Generative AI. And I have here some sample images that we are going to use to test the application. Also, please note that I have .env file here which includes a Google API key. Alright. The first step is to install the library. So we'll go to the terminal and type pip install -r requirements.txt. And it's installed. Now we are going to import the libraries. We want OS, we'll say import OS, and then import Streamlit as st, and next we are saying import Google.generative AI as gen AI. Also we have to load the .env from .env, import, load, and find. Now we will create the chat function. So we'll say define chat underscore function. This function, it has two arguments, the prompt and the image. We are going to create the model, which is equal to gen AI.generative model, and we are going to use Gemini Provision. We'll say here try response is equal to model.generate content, and we are going to pass the list prompt and image. And we are going to return the response dot text. In case there is an exception, say exception as E, return an error card E, please try again. Now let's create the entry point for the application. So we'll say if main. First, we are going to load the environment variable, the API key. So we'll say here override equal to. Next, we'll say Gemini.configure API key is equal to us get here, not Gemini, I called it Google API key. Okay. For this application, I have a banner in the folders called banner.png. And for title, I'm gonna set it to be title. Now we will add a file uploader widget for the user to upload the image. So we'll say streamlit.fileUploader with a caption, upload an image of type equal PNG, JPEG or JPG, or let's say GIF as well. Okay, this will return an image object. We'll say img equals this. Okay, now let us test our application and see how it's look. So we'll go to the command prompt and say streamlit run app.py. And this is how the application looks so far. Let's upload an image, say sample1. Yeah, it's working. Now let's continue developing our application. Now we have to check if the image is not empty. If it's not empty, let's display the image. Say streamlit.image and image with caption equal chat with this image. Next, we are going to use text area so that the user enter his question. So we'll say streamlit.text area ask a question about your image, and this will return text. So we'll say here prompt is equal. We are storing the question in the prompt variable. Next, we are going to check if prompt, if it's not empty. One point to note here is that Gemini provision model does not work with image bytes. It works only with Python image library or blob. So we have to convert our image. So in order to do that, let's create a function here to convert the image bytes to Python image library object. So we'll say define convert image to Python image library, and it will take an image input. We have to import an IO, and then from Python import image, and then we'll have image underscore data is equal to st_image dot read. Next, we will have Python image library image is equal to image.open and convert it. And finally, we are return the image. Okay, so now here we'll say the following. Image is equal to convert to image, and we are passing the image. So now we have the image and we have the prompt. So we want to send this both the image and the prompt to Gemini Vision Pro and get the answer. While doing that, let's use a Streamlit spinner. So we'll say with Streamlit.spinner, we'll put a message analyzing your image. Answer is equal to chat function, and we are passing the prompt and the image. Next, let's display the answer in a text area. So we'll say streamlit.text area, Gemini answer, and the value is answer. Okay, let's save our code now and check the application. This is the image that I uploaded before. Let's ask a question. What emotions does this image evoke in you? Question mark, and I'm going to hit Control and Enter. The spinner is working, and we get the answer. The image of a sunflower evokes feeling of happiness, joy, and optimism. So far so good. Let's continue now developing the application. Now for the final step for our application before we start testing it, I want to display the chat history. And for that, I'm going to use the session state of Streamlit. So first we'll say if history not in Streamlit.session state, we'll say Streamlit.session state history is equal to chat history and a new line. Okay, just the first time. If it's not there, we are going to add it. Next, let's store the question and answer in a value. We'll say value is equal to question prompt Here I'm just formatting the answer how it's going to be displayed. Okay, so we have here a value variable which is contains the question and answer. I'm using here double star so that it is in bold. Next we are going to store it in the session state. So we'll say streamlit.session state.history is equal to value double new line, and for readability we'll add 100 times, also double new line, and we'll display session state.history. Next I want to display the history in a Streamlit text area widget. So we'll say h is equal streamlit.session state.history and then streamlit.text area label equal chat history, value is equal to h, and the height is equal to, let's say, 800, and the key is equal to history, 1 equal here. Alright, with this we finished our application. Now let's see how we can use it, like what is the capabilities of Gemini Vision Pro. Okay, let's save our code and check our application. Alright, we finished the application. Now let's check the possibilities that we can do with it. We'll start with a simple question and then we'll go to the advanced one. First, let's select an image. This is a famous picture from the internet. Let's ask question. Can you guess one and where this photo might have been taken? And then I will press Ctrl Enter. It's analyzing the image, and we get the answer here and the history as well. Okay, this photo was taken on September 20, 1932. All right, let's ask more questions like what do you think was happening before and after the moment this photo was captured? Alright, this photo shows a group of construction workers having lunch on a high beam, so it gives more details about this photo. Also, if we want to check more, we can say based on clothing and people's expression, what can you, let's say, deduce about their lives? Okay, so we are getting the answer, and here's the chat history. I have already prepared a sketch for an admin dashboard. Let's select it and ask it to convert this sketch into a website. This is the sketch. So what is this in the picture? So it understands it's a wireframe of an admin dashboard. Okay. Convert to, or not convert, write the code for this admin dashboard using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In order to get the exact answer that we want, we have to fine-tune the prompt that we are sending to the model. Alright, this is what it's called prompt engineering. Okay, when you write a very clear and concise prompt, the model will be able to understand what you want and give you the answer. This is just for an example and to show you how you can convert a sketch drawn by hand into a code. Alright, so let's send the question now. It's analyzing, and we get the code for the website. Okay, it's not full, but as I said, you have to fine-tune the prompt. For example, let's say write the CSS for the HTML code generated. And here we get the CSS as well. Alright, as you can see, the Gemini provision model unlocks a whole new dimension of image interaction. From creative storytelling to practical insight to generating code, the possibilities are truly endless. Now let's select the picture of the fridge and ask Gemini to suggest a dinner recipe for me. Okay, but first let's ask it to place the item in the fridge. Alright, we get the result here. Okay, so let's ask now, can you suggest a healthy dinner recipe using these ingredients? And here we get the suggestion for the dinner. Okay, we can ask, of course, more questions. For example, list the top healthy ingredients inside this fridge. And we get the answer here for the healthy ingredients. Okay, as you can see, the line between images and words continue to blur thanks to Gemini provision model. It makes us think differently about information, stories, and even the photos we take. The only limit is our imagination. Now for the final example, let's select a picture of a street. So let's test if Gemini provision will be able to figure out where was this picture taken. Okay, so let's ask a question here. Where was this image taken? And we get the answer. This image was taken in Tokyo, Japan. Okay, describe the atmosphere in this place. The atmosphere in this place is vibrant and chaotic. Okay, let's ask more question. List as many different modes of transportation as you can find in this picture. Van buses, cars, truck, bicycle, pedestrians. Okay, all right, so that's it for today's tutorial. As you can see, this is just the beginning of what's possible when AI understands our world visually. The Gemini provision model is a powerful tool for both creative expression and practical problem solving. I can't wait to see what you will build with it. Let me know your ideas in the comment below this video. Alright, at the end, I hope you guys increase your knowledge today and learn something new. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And for any feedback or comment, leave it down below this video and I will get back to you. See you in the next tutorial and happy coding.